So we decided to replace both fans on our motorhome. I replaced them with the MAXXFAN Deluxe. These fans are great because they have a low, thin profile when they're not being used, and then they actually pop up and when you are using them, and this keeps rain weather out when they're in the closed or up position. So first thing you're going to do is open up your box. Inside your box you're going to have screws, instructions, the lower flange, and the main fan and its housing. So first thing we want to do is disconnect the 12-volt battery side to the house part of the RV, and because we're going to end up taking some wires apart later. And then once you get done doing that, go inside the RV and you'll have a bottom flange and you'll have 4 screws. Go ahead and remove those 4 screws, and then once you get that removed, you can put that off to the side and you'll see some exposed wires. One's going to be your negative and one's going to be your positive. Go ahead and just cut those and move them aside, and we'll deal with those later. Next thing you're going to do is go on top of your RV or motorhome, and you got this on ours we had a large rain cover so we could actually use it during the rain. We don't like these. We didn't want to go back with this type of setup, so we're going to remove this. To remove it, you're going to take off the 4 screws, 2 on either side, and go ahead and put that off to the side. Once you're done with that, there's 4 brackets, metal brackets that are attaching to the main fan housing. Go ahead and remove those, and then get you I used an oscillating saw to get the self-leveling sealant off. You can use a putty knife or whatever you need to, but try to get this area as clean as possible. Once I got all the self-leveling sealant out, I took a broom, brushed away all the major dust, and then I took some lacquer thinner, or you can also use some denatured alcohol. Go ahead and give that a good wipe over, make sure that surface is nice and clean. Next thing you're going to do after it's clean is get some sealant, some silicone, and put it on the bottom side of that upper flange. I made a nice solid ring all the way around it, and then I actually took and put silicone around each hole that each screw is going to go into. And then it's just a matter of flipping it over, putting it in place inside the corresponding hole that you just took the old fan out of. Now you probably want to pre-drill your holes with a smaller drill bit before you go putting all these screws in. But once you get that installed, you got probably 16-18 screws to put in. Go ahead and get that attached to the roof, and then we'll move on to the main fan housing. So on the main fan housing, you have 4 screws that attach it to that upper flange that you just installed. You're going to line that up, screw that on, and that is it for the top. So the top looks really good, and then it's time to move on to the inside. So on the inside, you should have your negative and positive wires from the new fan, and those 2 wires that we cut earlier for the negative positive that actually feed it. So go ahead and get those cut to length, and then go ahead and get your crimpers installed, and then get those plugged up together, and then put that into the side in between the roofing material and the fan to get that out of the way. So the next part is probably the hardest part about the whole process. You need to measure each corner to find out what your max distance is. For our instructions, it said measure an extra ½ inch for each corner. Luckily enough, ours was actually 2.5 inches in all 4 corners. Sometimes you can have 2 inches in one and then 2.5 on the other ones, which won't be a problem. So what we did is we marked our bottom flange to 3 inches, drew a line all the way across, and then took the oscillating saw and went ahead and cut the excess off. Once you get the excess off, it's just a matter of sliding it up into its position in between the roofing material and the fan. Gives it a nice look, and then just add those 4 screws back in, and then you're done. The only thing left to do is go ahead and hook your power back up and test it out, make sure that everything's working correctly, and you're done. This should only take you probably 10 to 15 minutes, actually probably 15 to 30 minutes to be on the safe side. It takes less time once you've done it once before, but you know, super simple and easy, quick thing to do. It adds a lot of, I guess you call curb appeal to your motorhome. Gets rid of that old dingy look. But yeah, this is an easy way to upgrade your motorhome. So I hope this helps out. If it did, if you would, hit that like button. And if you're not a member of our channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you guys back here again. And hopefully this helps you guys out.